All right, thought I would check in with everybody and give you an update on what's happening with the bike. Did a lot of little things this week. Man, it's been raining. This is the first day it's been like this, and when you know it, got a big old honeydew list to do today. So no time. 63 to get 63 degrees, but I did get a quick ride in because I wanted to check out the Clockworks 12-inch flare with a half helmet on. So I rode it a lot yesterday and had a chance to do it with both of my full face helmets. So I have a LS2 Valiant 2, the modular, which is the one that I use most of the time in the summer. In the winter and fall, I usually rock a Shoei full face. I think it's the RF SR. I think that's it. I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But Shoei really seems to work the best as far as the full face is concerned. But the Valiant did pretty well with the new screen. So I said I wasn't going to get the Clockworks, but I did a 150-mile run earlier this week, and man, I'm telling you, with that the stock piece windscreen, my head was banging when I got off the bike. I had to go 75 miles there, 75 miles right back on the freeway, quick turn, and boy, I'm telling you, like I said, I got off. I said, there's no way I can do it with that. So I went ahead and did that. And I can't tell you how happy I am because my 2013 had the Clockworks, looked just like this. I mean, in fact, the bike is set up exactly the same way. My 2020 had the Clockwork. And this one, to me, does not look good on every color. That's the problem. So I saw it on a lot of the bikes that kind of have more like those pastel colors. And I'm not sure it's really this new design. It's not very flattering. I think Clockwork probably needs to do probably a nice 8-inch screen that would be probably the old sport flare that many of us remember. So this is the 12. There's a 13 and a half. I'll say the 12 is whatever the tallest one was before. That's what the 12 is. That's what it feels like. So I can only imagine 13 must be crazy big. I'm 5'8", so I can see over this if I'm looking straight ahead down the highway. When I'm rolling right up on things, I'm looking through the screen, but that's kind of the way my last bike was. So it doesn't bother me. And it's dark tint. I know for some people that's an issue. Everybody has a different style. Everybody has a different thing. So for me, I'm going to probably use this for most of the time when I'm riding long distance, because again, I'm always putting miles on it. In the city, I will likely alternate. I didn't do that much with the last bike because that old, now if you remember up to the 23, man, that stock screen was like, you may as well not even have had a stock screen. It was about as useful as that little film that comes on top of it. Man, that thing was a piece of crap. But again, the sport flare that comes on this one, or the stock one, I should say, is a pretty good windscreen. And it'll be nice in the summertime when you just want some relief from the heat if you're not going long distance. But this is going to be a must for me, racking up those miles on the freeway. Everybody's different, like I said again, so this one works for me. Now, I did try it with the half helmet on today and put it on the freeway, went up to speed. And I'm telling you, just like zero buffeting, that thing was perfect. And man, one thing I'll say is I was able to hear these tabs for the first time with the zombie baffles. Whew, my God, they sound good. I mean, they sound good to me, probably not to the people that I was riding next to, but they sound great when you can actually hear them. Um, the music, you can hear it better. So cruising around the city at about 45 or 50, you could hear it, but you cannot hear it once you get on the freeway. So this is, again, the stock radio setup. Don't know if I'm going to do anything with that. I said I wasn't, but you never know. I mean, situation changes or whatever. Maybe I will. I was almost tempted to go with the Corbin seat, but I'm glad that I went ahead and just got the rider's backrest on here, because now I'm able to kind of shift around and not be stuck in one position. Like I said, this seat is actually really comfortable. I'm still maintaining that. I'm at about 650 miles on the bike, and the old stock seat was really cheap and really, really light. This one is not as heavy as a Corbin or a Saddleman or a Mustang, but it is definitely heavier than that old stock seat from like 15 to 23. So you can put some miles in this. And like I said, the rider backrest, as long as you can get yourself multiple positions on a long ride, that's usually kind of the trick to kind of extending your riding day. So that's what I wanted to say about this. I did buy the Clockworks windshield cleaner. Never did that before, but I don't know. This time I find myself getting a lot of other stuff like cleaning materials for the bike that I didn't get before. So I'm just going to try a different approach. I used to wash the other one, just wash it down by hand, but I'm going to try to be a little bit better with this one. We'll see how that lasts. I mean, typically, man, when I start racking up the miles on it, it starts getting dirty. I just try to get it clean enough. So that's just me. One last thing, I did say I was not going to get a tour pack because I've got the Rick Rack, but man, this guy sold this one. It was literally less than a third of the cost for a brand new OEM King Tour Pack. The only thing I had to add was the rack, because when I ride, I typically throw a waterproof bag on top of the rack. So I got to have the rack. That's a necessity for me. But I love the way it looks, and it was blacked out. My old one had all the chrome stuff on and the chrome base and all that, so it wasn't going to work. I left it on the bike when I sold it. But I'm really happy with this, because I think one last thing I'll say about the Clockwork is that if you get the tall Clockwork, and this is just in my opinion for me, everything is style, so everybody's a little different. I want the symmetry of the big tall windscreen needs something in the back to kind of balance it out. You know what I mean? And then it also helps by having the rider's backrest. So it gives it, I think, like a really kind of cool look. So in the summertime, again, if I'm not doing like a long ride, put that sport flare on, snatch the King Tour Pack off, maybe snatch off the rider's backrest, and then it looks like it did when I first picked it up. So that's kind of when I get back to this honey-do list, because happy wife, happy life, and means more time being able to ride on this if I check off all those that list. So you guys have a great week, man. Peace.